Burnley territory, gets plenty on that. It's going to be a throw into Burnley. They've got the hurry up on here, have Vincent Kompany's side. Bayer for Taylor over the halfway line, comes forward, plays it square for O'Shea. O'Shea takes a look up, nothing on at the moment. It's towards Gudmundsson. Gudmundsson for Brun Larsen, who's had a run at Zinchenko already. He's going to have another go at the Ukrainian. Rice doubles up. Now it's with Gudmundsson. Gudmundsson in field. O'Shea back for Gudmundsson again on the right-hand side. 3 minutes to the added on 6 remaining. Zinchenko intercepts, plays it for Rice. Rice is caught by Gudmundsson. That's going to be a free kick. And Gudmundsson's going to get a yellow card. Sometimes doesn't look like he can beat you, Declan Rice, but you know he just seems to get there ahead of players. You know,
so good. It just controls games. He just dominates games in the midfield. Whether in an attacking sense, he picks the ball up, he looks to go forward, drives in, he makes tackles, he intercepts. Yeah, he does everything. Well, he's so impressed with how he's settled into this Arsenal team. And every time I say that to a West Ham fan, they're like, "Yeah, we've been telling you how good he is." Yeah, but now he's doing it at the very top level.
Yeah, it's very, very different. Very different. And Ketcher offside. Yeah, he's a class act and worth every penny. Burnley have it after that offside flag went up. Bayo well played infield for Sander Berge. Berge clips it over to the left-hand side. Odegaard wants it. It's controlled instead by Ramsey. Odegaard, four-way inside the box. And eventually Taylor with a low ball in towards Jed Rodriguez, and then Rodriguez with a clumsy challenge. That was poor on Georgino, and it's going to be a free kick, and the Arsenal player's not happy about the challenge made by the veteran striker. One or two Arsenal fans heading for the exits as the clock ticks into the 5th minute of added on time. Well, it's been a good workout. Arsenal have had to work relatively hard to make sure of the 3 points, but always a cut above a Burnley side who have got some talented players but haven't really got the cutting edge or the consistency to really trouble Arsenal. Back on terms with that Brownhill deflected effort, but Saliba immediately restored Arsenal's advantage, and Zinchenko gave them the breathing space with Fabio Vieira's red card. It's changed the dynamic, obviously, because Burnley have had much more of the ball, but it's not going to change the destination of the points here. They're going to stay in the capital, and Arsenal are going to rise to second in the table behind Manchester City, only on goal difference. Here is Sander Berge, away from Georgino, shows good pace, does the Norwegian, plays it over to the left-hand side, and Odegaard, who will take a touch, is against Tomiyasu, still coming forward. Lays it off for Sander Berge once again. Brun Larsen calling for it inside the full-back. Brun Larsen will get there and pull it back. Oh dear, big miss from Obafemi, and then it's come back inside and it's cleared away, and we've got an Arsenal player down. Michael Obafemi's got to do better. Who's on the deck? Is it Georgino again? Can't quite see. I think it might be.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that was a chance, wasn't it?
Yeah. Good play.
We've defended really well. I think it would have been offside, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it might be.
Defended really well with 10 men, actually. But obviously Burnley have had more of the ball. Hasn't really been too much cause for alarm in this last 10 minutes or so. I think that third goal was absolutely crucial.
Yeah.
From Zinchenko.
Just looking at Georgino getting a boot in the face potentially from his own man.
Was it Kivior?
Is it Kivior, I think, wasn't it? It was awkward. Physio on at the minute. Georgino got one in the face. A bit of friendly fire as they tried to clear it. Mikel Arteta deep in thought in the technical area, just below our commentary position. He knows the game is won. Already thinking about the next challenge. Brentford game will be priority #1 for him on Monday morning, no doubt. As he sees players disappear from Colney, and he'll keep his fingers and toes crossed that everybody comes back with no injuries. Always a worry. And I suspect 1 or 2 might not be heading to play for the national sides because of injury. We wait off obviously news of Martin Odegaard, and we'll see what happens with Bukayo Saka, who's come off. It obviously was a doubt for today, but included in the England squad.
Yeah, he always plays it, doesn't he, when it's available? I'm sure he'll be joining up. Yeah, there's a chance though for a couple of the sort of walking wounded to maybe have a couple of weeks of recovery time, a bit more treatment, get everyone firing for that busy November, December time.
Well, an awkward whack in the face from the boot of a teammate, and Georgino is down at the moment, and we're going to have to wait for the remains of this game to be completed. The remaining, minute and a half? I mean, we're into the 8th minute of added on time now, but I reckon we had about 90 seconds when this incident happened. It's not time enough, really, for Burnley to get 2 goals, and it almost certainly won't be time even if to get 1. But Georgino is hurt, and at the moment he's receiving treatment on the pitch in the 6-yard box right in front of the goal, just about on his feet. I don't know if there was blood drawn. It was an awkward boot. Vieira is concerned. Oh, there is some blood, isn't there, on the top of his head, I think it is. I don't think it's a cut to his face. And they've just caught him on the top of the head, and there's plenty of Vaseline been applied. Vieira's apologised, but that might hurt tomorrow morning. Don't know if a stitch is required.
He's done well today, Georgino.
I think he's played really well, you know. Good spot. I think he's played really well.
I think we spoke about how Arsenal have been really good at corners and set pieces, and a lot of the time when it was cleared, he was in the right position. He's recycling the ball quickly, and he's kept Arsenal moving, hasn't he, in that midfield?
Yeah.
It's been an important job for him. Captain again today. I think he's had a good game.
No, he's done really well, Georgino. I don't know if we've got time to make the change, but Elneny potentially is going to come back on. Georgino with that head wound. I think Arsenal are just going to play out with 10, you know, because I reckon we've got 60 seconds remaining. With 9, should I say? Not 10, isn't it? Because
everyone on the
Vieira's
halfway
off.
line, like Tottenham did.
Do you know what? It'd be such a laugh if they did, but obviously they're not going to do that. Just imagine. Burnley against 9 players at the moment. Odobert, edge of the area, still going. Obafemi looks to pull the trigger, and it's wide of the target. Is Elneny going to get on? Well, the substitute board is up.
Can he not just blow the whistle?
We've had 100 minutes almost. There's a discussion going on between 4th official Craig Pawson and Mohamed Elneny. I think Elneny's saying, look, well, how many seconds are left here? You should know. You're the man who's going to put, tell the referee. I reckon that he's not going to come on Elneny. Arsenal are going to finish. This is how you get the job done with 9 players.
That's the headline. Arsenal win with 9 men.
Well, that is full time. Arsenal have beaten Burnley comfortably in the end. There was the odd scare, and Burnley have shown some quality, but true to their recent form, they have not been good enough. The Gunners going in front on the stroke of half-time. Trossard, really brave header from the ball from Bukayo Saka, the 7th time that Saka has supplied Trossard for a goal in his Arsenal career. Burnley came back, Brownhill taking the shot on it, took a deflection, beat David Raya after good work from Koleosho, but Arsenal hit back immediately with William Saliba's first goal of the season from close range, and then Zinchenko with a technical effort that saw him jump up into the air and volley beyond James Trafford to make it 3-1. Saliba is being serenaded by the remaining supporters in the stadium here. This has been a good workout for Arsenal, and it's the Gunners that have taken the 3 points. The 1,000th goal scored as well here for Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium by the home team. Mikel Arteta applauds the fans as the Arsenal players start to head down the tunnel. As we hand you back to Adi and to Nick. Arsenal jump above Spurs in the table into second, level on points with Manchester City. It is an 8th win of the campaign in the Premier League. They've beaten Burnley by 3-1.
Yeah, we like the sound of that. He's a crowd pleaser, is Dan Roebuck. Above Spurs in the table now. Unfortunately, not quite enough goals today to jump over Manchester City, but joint top of the league.
Yeah, joint top. Sounds good, doesn't it? Yeah. And hopefully they'll slip up at Chelsea. Unlikely, but you never know. So, yeah, look, it wasn't vintage Arsenal today, was it? It was get the job done. One or two little hiccups. Obviously, we had the red card there, but yeah, it was a decent enough performance in the end. We absolutely dominated them. I think we had 50 touches inside their box, which feels like quite a lot to me. You know, so there's a big old difference. I think they had very few in ours. So look, we deservedly won by a couple of goals, but we were kind of way below our best.
Yeah, Peter, the DJ here, playing the Saliba chant and full-time whistle there. He had a good game today.
Well, that was a big goal, wasn't it? That was a really big goal because they just scored out of nowhere. I mean, it didn't feel like they were going to score. Sort of a scruffy goal where is it a foul on Tommy Asu or not? Didn't get it, and then it bobbles around a bit. Then it's a shot deflects off Gabriel. It was a scruffy goal, and you thought, oh no, what's going to happen? And then we just didn't have time to dwell on it because Saliba pops up, just uses his absolute frame, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He basically, the keeper's there at the last second. He just nips in front of him, heads it in. I mean, it's really clever play from him, and we deserve to win.
Yeah, agreed. Let's get the thoughts of some in the room then. Go ahead.
Yeah, we won ugly today, didn't we? I think that was it was never going to be a pretty game, was it? This is how you beat Burnley. You have to play a little bit ugly. But we spoke at half time about how many crosses we were putting in, and we were all a bit disappointed. 3 goals, 2 set pieces, 1 from across. I think what won us the game in the end there was our technical quality. I think you look at a game where Trossard got a goal and assist, Zinchenko with an absolute worldie. Ultimately, we spoke about this before the game that they try and play a bit of football. They're not on our level. It was our technical players that were a cut above theirs that won us the game today.
I would completely agree. It was just really good finish, wasn't it, from Zinchenko? That was a piece of class from him, and the deliveries from the corners were good too.
Yeah, Chev, go on. What are you saying?
Yeah, I think we didn't play our best. Everybody can agree with that. But we got the win, and if history is anything to go by, it's the teams that are able to win when they're not at their best that go on to do good things. In the second half, I didn't think we used the right-hand side enough. Saka was missing. Not missing, but we was able to get him in the game, and he was predominantly down the left side. Obviously, Vieira came on, and then what happened. But, I think, we can be happy with a win. And the other side of North London, they lost, so it's a good day we're at.
Exactly. Good day at the office, it would seem. Go ahead.
Yeah, really happy with that win. I think the second half was much better than the first, and I think when they scored I was getting a bit nervous, but like you said, it was a bit of a scrappy goal. But I think it's always hard in these games to beat Burnley because I think they were quite good defensively, and it was really tough to break them down. So I think with Tottenham losing as well, I think we've just got to keep up with Man City and try and overtake them, but really happy with the performance and the win.
Yeah. Exactly. Just got to keep close to City, haven't we? And hope that they'll slip up. But now that we've beaten them once, maybe we could beat them twice.
I mean, it's tough going to the Etihad, but you never know. Yeah. Go ahead.
I would say that game was very good, and we've learnt quite a bit from that. I'd say I'd say that Burnley, to play devil's advocate, did have a good fight in the end. I wasn't expecting the goal, and I guess the first goal we scored against them kind of motivated them to score another, which was really good in my opinion. Obviously, played devil advocate. I'm an Arsenal fan. But last 2 goals were quite stunning from Georgino and on
Zinchenko, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm so tired.
The Zinchenko scissor kick. It was
it was
lovely,
beautiful,
wasn't it?
honestly. And then that red card obviously was unfortunate, but we've got to win. I'm not complaining. I don't think anyone here is complaining.
No, not at all.
I'd say we move on to the next.
Yeah. Good day at the office.
Absolutely.
I would say.
Yeah.
You spoke about what we learned. Let's have a look then at the first thing that we learned from today's game then, and I can tell you, we spoke about it pre-game actually. Leandro Trossard put his body on the line to score our 1,000th goal at the Emirates Stadium. We've got 1,000 here now. Well, more than that, 1,002. But it wasn't a classic. We were saying it's quite funny because it will probably get replayed because of the milestone of the goal, and it was wasn't his best.
Well, it was probably the first 2 goals. Aggregate yardage is probably 2, isn't it? We couldn't have scored from closer range, but I did like the goal because it came from a cross and we put in loads that weren't good enough. But, I like the way Saka got on the end of it. And then for Trossard to be brave, because it's one of those, he can see the goalie and the defender coming at him, but he thinks, no, I'm going to go for it anyway. He clatters into the post. So, yeah, well done him. And very good delivery on the corner for the second goal as well. So Trossard did his job today, did excellently.
Yeah, I'd agree. Babs, go on, you wanted to come in.
Yeah, he was sensational. I think his performance is very sustainable. That's what we look at. We're not amazing, but no Odegaard, no Partey, no Timber. There's a lot of players missing, so I don't expect us to be free flowing. And I think it's about getting the wins at this stage of the season, kind of staying in range with Man City, and the fact that we're joint top is nice. And I think as our players get back and better, Arsenal will improve, and we'll see the best of Arsenal. But that will be towards the peak of the season, and I think that's the important part.
It's been efficient, isn't it, Babs? I think it's like loads of title-winning teams. I think we've all said it. I think Chef said it. You win with a minimum of fuss. Don't use up much energy. Don't get too emotional. Like last year, everyone was so high, then so low, and then so high. I think we burnt out. But this year, it feels like because we're rotating more, we're winning with less fuss. It feels like we're going to have a bit more in reserve for that sort of push. And we are doing it, as the guys have said, with some really good players missing.
Yeah.
I mean, Odegaard and Jesus walk into the team. Partey as well, really.
Yeah.
So, and let's be honest, Timber probably walks into the team as well. You've got 4 nailed-on starters unavailable at the moment, so we can't complain too much.
Yeah, and we're about to have another player who's unavailable. Actually, the second thing that we can learn from today's game is essentially about the rare Emirates Stadium red card that leaves us light on attacking options. Yeah, Fabio Vieira. Look, it's one of them. The contact wasn't heavy, but you can see why it's been given as a red.
Yeah, I don't think we can appeal it really. It was one of those. The ball bounces up and he goes for it like that. With his foot up. He's trying to just get his studs, on top of the ball. Misses it, and he grazes the knee of the player. It's not a leg breaker. He's just scraped him. He's not really hurt, but we've seen it over and over again. You can't really make those kind of tackles, and you feel for Vieira because that's 3 games out for him now, and this is his chance because there's no Smith Rowe. Odegaard's been struggling. We've got a lot of injuries in the forward department, and you'd have thought he'd have got a bit of game time. So it's a real blow for him. I just hope that before the next game, obviously we've got an international break now, just hope that Odegaard's back fit and firing, and maybe Jesus too. Because we are losing too many players at the minute. And you look at the bench, and we've got a few kids on there today. Yeah. That's the next step, isn't it? We're going to have to blood some of them, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but it's not ideal when you're pushing for a title to have to blood debutants.
In a way, I want us to be in every competition fighting for all the trophies, but in a way, is it maybe a bit of a blessing that we're no longer in the League Cup, in the Carabao Cup, with these injuries?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's gone now. You just wipe it. I'd prefer to have potentially gone to Wembley there, but yeah, I think that we would have played Liverpool in the Cup and then in the League within a couple of days of each other. So it'd have been a very weird sort of situation. Probably gives us a better chance of winning the league game, the fact that we can just rest up that week.
Yeah. All right, let's have a look at the third and final thing then that we're going to take from today's game, and it's a good one, this one. Goals from Saliba and Zinchenko mean we've now had 13 different goal scorers thus season.
Thus season.
Yeah. Good stat.
It's a great stat, isn't it? We've only had 12 games. 12 games. If there are some teams that haven't scored 13, if we happen to score 13 goals in 12 games, we've got 13 different goal scorers. It shows there's no reliance. We're not like City. Not that they just rely on Haaland, but they kind of do a bit. We don't have that one out-and-out goal scorer, and it's a good job that we've got players that can chip in. I love to see it. We've obviously dished out a few penalties to players just to get them off the mark, which has been quite nice. But today, it was lovely to see Willy Saliba score. As I said, it was a really clever piece of play to sort of get in front of the goalkeeper at the last second. I really like that. I like to see players thinking brightly, thinking a bit outside the box. So he did that, and it was a really good ball in. And then for Zinny, you can see how much it meant to Zinchenko, couldn't you? I mean, it's a beautiful sort of scissor kick, like reminding me of the Di Canio goal. Obviously not quite as good because it was just sat up nicely for him. But
or Karate Kid.
Karate Kid, that's it, like that, yeah.
Depending on which
That's
way you want to see it.
probably a better one, yeah. It's probably, I'll give you that. It was a Karate Kid finish. I'm actually going to steal that when I write about this game. So yeah, no copyright, no copyright. But I loved his reaction, didn't you? He was so pumped. I mean, after he scored, he was obviously looking to his family a lot, because he's scored before, hasn't he? But has he scored before? He hasn't scored this season, but I'm not sure if he scored last season or not. But he's a rare goal scorer, isn't he?
He doesn't get many.
But after that, he was rousing the crowd, wasn't he? Particularly when we went down to 10 men. He was he was sort of beating his chest. He was pumped more than anyone else. But I think that's pure adrenaline that he was so excited to have scored that goal here at Emirates Stadium. And yeah, it's just a great moment. We talked about it before. 1,000 goals. He's now on that list, isn't he? Yeah, and didn't Josh say on commentary 99 goal scorers here at Emirates Stadium as well? 99 different goal scorers. So the next one, whoever scores for the first time will become the 100th different goal scorer. Yeah, go on, Chev. You want to jump in? One thing we haven't touched on is the game management. It was weird. We didn't play great, but when we was up, and especially after the red card, there was game management, and I'd like to point out Georgino. There was points where he was like, for example, Wright was going to pass it short, and he was like, nah, you two, up. And he just kicked it long, you know what I mean? And again, like a leader in Zinchenko, he's always been a leader, but these are things that we never had last season. You can see it coming through now. So yeah. I'd agree. I really would agree.
Jorginho's a coach on the pitch, and he really is.
I love the fact that he's very wily. He's a wily guy, and he's got astute decisions. You'd rather have him on your team than against you, because he would get on your nerves if you played against him, because he's quite cynical, but he's also a smart thinker. And that's right. At certain times in the game, especially when you're protecting a lead, don't even think about going for that short, risky pass. He's like, no. That's done, and I do think we've matured as a team, and we didn't get round to showing it before kick-off, but like the last few home games here, teams have had not a sniff. Yeah. Sevilla had nothing. Man City had nothing. He had 4 shots in the game, Man City. Sheffield United had zilch. Today was a bit different. Burnley actually had a few chances, but in general, I still felt that we defended sensibly, and it wasn't open like it was a few years ago, where we attack, you attack. Those days seem to be behind us, and that will help us in the long run for sure. Yeah.
All right, Clarke, thank you very much. We shall leave it there. Thank you to our studio audience as well, who've been amazing as always, and thank you for watching The Breakdown live. We are back in a couple of weeks' time after the international break for the trip to West London to take on Brentford. That one starts at 4:30. We'll see you then. Take care. Woo!